And joining us today on the Marmy Rock Show, a good friend of the Rock Show, Lenny Cerzosie. And when I have Lenny on, I feel like I have three bands on the show because we're going to ask him about the Mayan Factor, the Infinite Staircase, and Le Projet. So the triple threat is back. Lenny, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much. I feel like the last time or two that we spoke, I didn't really have a whole lot of information to give. I think this time around I might have some, not that anybody's leaning on the edge of their seat waiting to hear what I have to say, but there are some cool things going on, man. And I love talking to you, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah, anytime. You're always welcome, and I love all your bands. So let's kick it off with the one I think you're talking about that has the most going on right now, which is the Mayan Factor. So update folks on that.
Well, you know what? The Mayan Factor, it's been really cool. I don't think any of us expected it to really jive the way it's been jiving, and we've played, over the last year now, we've played like 6 shows or so, and they just keep getting more intense, and we went into the studio and we actually laid down a brand new track that we're going to release over the next month, and like, it's kind of crazy because a lot of people are like, holy crap, we never thought the Mayan Factor would be releasing a new song, because, Ray passed, and figure, it's just one of those things that's hard to kind of go on with when the lead singer, is no longer around. So, this is kind of a surprise for all of us, but I think people are going to be, I think it's an interesting tune that we got going on. It's pretty intense, actually, and I can't wait to show it to you.
So give us like a little peek behind the curtain into the tune. Like, is it consistent with the classic kind of Mayan Factor vibe, or is it different in any way?
Well, you know what? I mean, it's definitely got a slightly different vibe because I'm singing it. So, it's definitely got a little bit of the TIS groove to it in terms of the vocal sound, but we did kind of attack it in a certain way. We went with the engineer that did all the Mayan Factor records, and I worked with him alone when I did the vocals. It was just me and him, and it was interesting because he even said, we just had a discussion about kind of staying sincere to the Mayan Factor without trying to sound like the Mayan Factor, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
So, and I think the first hour, Frank hated me, but I think after the first hour, we both connected in a way and realized, all right, this is actually working in a different type of way, but in a good way. I'm super excited. All the guys, we're all super excited to release this, I don't know if I should. I think I'm allowed to say that the name of the song is called Ascension, and it's just, the vibe is totally Mayan Factor vibe, with me kind of throwing my, my own vibe into it. It's kind of hard to explain, man, but I think when you hear it, you'll be like, holy shit, that's the Mayan Factor with Lenny. You know what I mean? And I mean, the coolest thing for me is the fans have been awesome. Everybody's been so accepting of me. It blows my mind. It really blows my mind. Cause I was like, oh man, people are going to hate me. This is going to be terrible. But so far, it's been really cool. We played a show a couple weeks ago in Asbury, New Jersey. It was killer. I mean, it's just good stuff, except there are a couple songs I still got to remember the lyrics for. I had my lyrics in front of me. But then the fog machine turns on, and I had no idea the fog machine was right where my lyrics were, so I'm like, fuck, I did a whole lot of But people don't know me for remembering shit anyway, so that's okay.
But you mentioned your show in Asbury Park. I want to make sure I let folks know you guys have a show, I believe, in Baltimore on December 17th at the 8x10 Club, so a chance to see them again as well. So,
yeah, that's we're looking forward to that show, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to release the single that day, and I think we're planning on playing it live that night. I'm not sure.
That's cool. That's one of the questions I was going to ask you. And another thing I know that it looks like you got going on the show too. That you guys got a limited edition T-shirt that you only made 50 of or something. I saw something cool about that out there. So that should be a good show. So,
yeah. It's been really fun. And what I love about the Mayan Factor is everybody's so excited about it. I mean, look, my heart is in the music no matter what. But the Infinite Staircase is me and my brother. We built that up from the ground up. And we've worked with everybody. Zach Wild and then some. But the Mayan Factor is something that I got going on right now that's filling a niche that I need personally, and unfortunately, life kind of throws some shit at you sometimes. So, my brother and I are dealing with a lot of personal stuff that it's hard for us to perform together because of the responsibilities that we have right now. So, but we got to keep rolling, and he does a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and I try my best to get out there or whatever. So, but December 17th is going to be a good show. If you can make it out, I'd love to see you. I know you guys. I know you're a big fan of Candlebox. I mean, they've been killing it, man. Right?
Yeah.
And I know last night or the night before they did a sold-out show in Seattle. I mean, killing it. New lineup is awesome. I mean, I love Brian Quinn, and Adam, of course, and all those guys are awesome. And Kevin Morton and I have our history.
Yeah, well, speaking of some of those guys, man, you mentioned your and your brother's band, The Infinite Staircase. I was noticing around your Facebook page today, you guys are on Pandora now. Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, we still push it. We're still doing our thing. It's just, how it is, man. It's hard, and everything takes time too. And there's just so many things going. Because even our release, the Dead Cricket Sessions, is supposed to be released years ago. It's just we're working with JD, from BLS, and we're working with Bob from Mouse Magnet, and they're on the road. So it's like, well, for 6 months out of the year we can't do this. So then when they are home, you got to be available, and so everything is time. It's just But it looks like over the next couple of months, a lot of shit should be coming out that I have been working on in terms of the Cricket Sessions with the Infinite Staircase. Finally, the new single with Projet is going to be Goodbyes. Should be up for Christmas, hopefully. And then
and if nothing else, I didn't even realize this. The Infinite Staircase has a Christmas EP you guys did.
Yeah, we had this really awesome young singer, a friend of a friend of a friend type of thing, that hooked up with, and we're like, hey, let's do something. And we settled down for a couple days at a studio, with Bob from Monster Magnet in his little studio in New Jersey. And we just did 3 Christmas tunes our own little way, and had fun with it, and our own little fun Christmas jams, And, we just try to keep busy no matter what, and keep our hands in every way we could get in there, You can't sit still. You got to stay in motion.
Yeah, and you never do that, man. You are a hardworking dude. So, you mentioned Candlebox. Let's talk a little Projet. People looking for, I don't know if it's out yet or not, but tell us a little bit about the DVD that Projet has. Well, first I have to apologize to everybody who's been waiting.
That project has been so difficult to manage because of, the schedule, the Candlebox schedule, and everything in between. So, we're still getting the DVDs out. They are out there. They're being sent out, but there are a lot of people that are a little upset with us because they haven't received them yet. But they are on their way out. You are definitely in some of that, at least in
cool.
1 or 2 of the videos. There's a lot of cool behind the scenes stuff. I think people will appreciate seeing, in particular, Morgan Rose off the drum kit, just being Morgan Rose. He's such an interesting character. And then seeing his interaction with Kevin is really funny too, just because their personalities, and they've seen some shit and sold some records, so it's funny to just see them interact with each other, and then to get into the room and and write music with them is just pretty great. I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm the guy in the corner, oh my god, what am I doing here? But they never make me feel like that. They it's all good. It's just a mental thing, You're like, God,
man, dude, you rub elbows with some of the best talent in the country all the time. And no, you don't just rub elbows with them. I mean, you perform with them and you write with them. So you're such a fascinating person in that realm. Hey, what's up with the hashtag What You Say shirts? Tell us about those.
Well, I mean, that's been going. I'd like to see that get a little bit bigger, even. But that's the whole anti-bullying movement that we got going on. So the song, Little Shits, and the main line of that song is, What You Say, and the video that we put out was a real video of, actual, people that have lost their lives, taken their own lives in, the whole bullying, world that's out there right now, the cyberbullying and all that kind of, stuff, and, the T-shirts it's a total, non-profit thing that anybody buys a T-shirt that goes toward anti-bullying campaigns, and, we've given shirts to, I got a couple of messages from kids saying, I don't have the money, but this is going on, here's a shirt, man. It's the very least we could do, I mean, it's cool shit, And that's,
man. Yeah. That's good. That's good stuff, man. And it's just so consistent with everybody we've met in any of your projects. Have just been such good people. I know your drummer from the Mind Factor, and I know your brother. And, of course, Morgan, one of my favorite interviews I've ever done in my life has been with Morgan Rose, who's such a good guy. And, of course, Kevin, too. Kevin Martin. So you're associated with great people, and you yourself, upstanding dude. So, hey, on a more personal note, how's the dog doing, man? How's your puppy doing?
Oh, awesome. Ludo's still rocking. He turns 7 years old in just a couple of weeks. He'll be 7.
So tell people a little bit more about your dog. They see his picture probably on your Facebook. So what kind of dog is he, and how'd you pick him up? How'd you get together?
Funny. I mean, he's half boxer, half bulldog, but 100% awesome. Right? You met him at the studio. He was so cool. He just loved being there, and I was shocked that he liked hanging out in the live room. And you figure it'd be loud as hell, but no, he loved it. He loved being around. And actually, the single that we're going to release, Goodbyes, I play acoustic in the beginning. And he insisted in sitting with me. And, when you're recording acoustic, you could hear a pin drop, So he's chilling out next to me, and he shook his head a little bit. So there's a point, it sounds like somebody's shaking like a tambourine, but it's actually Ludo shaking his head, And I don't think anybody realized that but me. But once it's released, I'm going to point it out and say, that's my dog. But it was cool, because, Think Loud, it's owned by the guys from Live. So my first night out there, we were settling down there for about a week. And I brought Lou out, and I brought him to a PetSmart hotel, and it broke my heart, and he was like, what the hell is this, because I didn't have anybody that could take care of him for that week. So, I was a little bummed out. So, the guys from Live, they're like, dude, go get your dog and bring him here. Like, what? Because it's a living studio, they have rooms and all. Oh, you were there, you saw. And, So I go back to PetSmart, get my dog, and bring him back to the studio, and it was like, this is awesome. So, I mean, what else could I ask for? Where I get to lock down in an awesome studio, $1 billion studio with the guys from Live and Candlebox and Seven Dust and my guys and my friends, plus my dog. I mean, what's better than that, man? I just feel bad when you guys showed up. I was a little under the weather.
But man, it was a weekend I always will remember. And so Lenny of the Mind Factor, they got a show December 17th in Baltimore at the 8x10. The Infinite Staircase, keep your eyes on them. Pick up, they're on Pandora now, by the way. And Le Projet, look for their DVD coming out soon, and check out the hashtag What You Say shirt. So, Lenny, man, it's always a pleasure having you on the show, dude. Thanks so much for calling in.
No, thank you, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Can't wait to get together. I gotta catch you at a show, man, for sure.